Dad.
Don't start.
But that's the third night in a row you've gotten drunk. I mean...
Annie, please, love.
And you cut your hand. Let me see.
Just leave me be.
Well, what do you expect, drinking beer all day?
Foot. That's the thing that knocks somewhere on the line.
Oh, was that before or after you cut your hand?
Annie, love, I'm sorry I was so short. It's just that
I know, Dad. I miss her too.
It isn't that. It really isn't. It's my foot. And I suppose I am the worse for wear this morning. Bit kitschy.
Of course it's hard for you. We were together 40 years, Dad. In this house.
Oh.
Is it troubling you?
It's a bit. It'll stabbing pain just here.
Look, I know you don't want to, but you should think about getting it seen to.
You know, I might just do that.
Great. I'll phone the surgery.
There's no need. I'll do it myself when I'm up and about.
No, it's no problem. You just sit there and keep the weight off it.
I can't imagine why that Darryl wanted a divorce.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning, Doctor.
Ray.
Good to see you.
How are you, mate?
No, I'm good. Can't complain. Please sit down.
Long time no see. Feather's not good enough for you anymore? Is it that baby boy or...
Yeah, it has been quite a time, hasn't it? Kieran is 3 years old.
There's time for him. Marches steadily on.
I heard about Mary. I'm really sorry.
Life goes on. Whether we like it or not. So why did you abandon us then? I know the jukebox is irritating. It's not showing your face for 3 years. That's a bit extreme.
Well, it's not even as interesting as that. I stopped drinking.
Makes sense. Position heal thyself and all that?
I'd had enough. Time to call it a day.
Anyhow, last couple of weeks I've been in these stabbing pains in my foot.
Okay, let's take a look.
Oh no. Somebody left it with magazines.
Ben seen this.
I don't know, I saw him come in and I haven't seen him since.
Seen what? Local paper. Well, they were really positive, weren't they? On Ben's side, saying how it was all just an accident.
And that was the Leatherbridge Gazette, this is the Echo. It had to be today, didn't it? Ben's up in front of the magistrates this afternoon.
How could they?
Do you think we should show it?
No, definitely not.
Such a sensationalist nonsense. And it isn't going to affect the magistrates here, and it certainly won't help them.
This is so nasty.
It's a trashy rag. No one with any intelligence reads it.
My family do. My nan swears by it.
Oh, poor Ben. Poor Ben.
Well, it's not an injury. You've got gout, old son.
Gout?
Uh-huh.
That's what 18th century aristocrats used to get, isn't it? From drinking too much port. Well, I may be old, but I'm not that old. Besides, port can't stand the stuff.
How much are you drinking these days?
Oh, that old chestnut.
Well, a number of things can cause doubt. But you're not overweight, you're not on any medication that could cause it. But if my memory serves you right, you do like a drink or two.
I like a couple of pints of an evening, just like anyone else.
Ray, in all the years I've known you, I have never known you to have just a couple of pints.
Well, you always told me that when a doctor asks you how much you drink, he doubled the answer and added a bit on. I halved it and took a bit off.
Quite a big bit. Come on, Ray, I was there. I saw you. Day after day, you drank from 6 o'clock until 30.
And you matched me pint for pint.
Absolutely. And I admit it. But now,
The palms of righteousness.
I am not moralizing, Ray. I look at your body and I can see it starting to break down. We're none of us getting any younger. And our bodies are slowing down. You drink as much as you do and it'll happen a lot faster. A whole lot faster. That's not moralizing. It's a fact.
He was like a wild animal, punching me again and again. I can't print this. This isn't Ben.
What isn't Ben?
Oh, Ben, I'm so sorry.
What for?
Well, for...
What's going on?
George,
We don't believe this. None of us do.
We weren't sure if you'd seen it or...
These are anti-inflammatories. They should reduce the swelling and the discomfort. But the long-term prognosis is down to you. Unless you cut your intake of alcohol drastically, all the pills in the world won't help. And it won't just be gout on the toe either.
Duly noted, message received loud and clear. Chamomile tea and mineral water from now on in, eh?
Ray, I'm serious.
I know you are. You're trying to help, just like Annie. But I'm a big boy now. I don't need help in the world. Never have, never will.
How is Annie? You see much of her?
You could say that.
I thought she was an American.
She was. She's divorced now. We never thought it would work out, but they don't listen, do they? She's living with me at present.
Oh, must be nice.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
She honoured you about your drinking?
Well, she hasn't got anything better to do. She hasn't got any friends. She hasn't got a job here anymore. What else is she going to do? Me, I've done my job, 50 years of it, and I've got plenty of friends. And I'm the one with a problem.
Well, it's not unusual to blame other people for your problems. We all do that.
I'm an old man, Mac. I've been on my own now for 2 years.
You've got Annie.
You know what I mean. What I'm saying is, okay, I drink a lot, too much, but I can afford it. I'm not hurting anyone, I'm not neglecting my wife or being sloppy at work. What am I gonna do? Cocoa and 500-piece jigsaws down at the community centre? Come on, Mac, you know that's not me. Well, because I'm old, I can't make my choices anymore. Yeah, what are you doing?
What? But I came so you wouldn't have to walk back. Your foot.
I came by bus. I'm going back by bus. You were just trying to stop me going to the pub, weren't you?
I thought you might like some company.
Shouldn't you be out looking for a job or somewhere to live, Dad?
Dad, if you want me out of the house, then...
Love, you can stay as long as you like.
I know.
It's just that since your mum died, it's difficult. Seeing you...
Dad, I know. It's been hard on both of us.
No, I didn't mean that.
Look, I think I know why we haven't been getting along. And I know how to solve it. That's why I came to pick you up.
No, not today. My foot more.
You've always got an excuse. You've got to do this, or do that. It's always something more important. Something which involves popping in at the feathers on the way back.
Annie.
Dad, please. This is really important. You promised me.
All right, let's go.
Saskia King. I run the Avery Lodge Youth Project. Dr. Kwame's our visiting doctor.
Saskia. Hi. It's nice to meet you. Oh.
When I saw this, I just had to come in person.
Oh, that is really sweet. Oh, thank you. I'm sure Ben will really appreciate your support. He's actually got surgery this morning, but I can tell...
No, you misunderstand. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, Ben has never been anything other than a total professional. And he's become an integral part of the Avery team. And I'm sure that all this will be proved wrong, but...
But?
We at Avery feel that for someone with all this hanging over him to be working with impressionable, vulnerable young people, well, let's put it this way. This Dr. Kwame isn't exactly an ideal role model for kids, is it?
So you're asking Ben to stay away, huh?
Look, only for the time being. Once this is all blown over, I'm sure we can...
I'm sorry, Saskia. Let me just make sure that I understand you correctly. You are going to let a story in a tabloid newspaper based on words spoken by a criminal tarnish the reputation of a respected doctor who is also a colleague that you know well and up until now have had total trust in. Am I correct?
Places like Avery rely on reputation and word of mouth. Sadly, something like this could sabotage years of hard work. I'm sure Ben will understand.
Did you bring any flowers?
Don't fret, your mum was never big on flowers.
It's what all this is about, isn't it? All this aggravation between you and me. We're both grieving for her and we just all gets twisted up and we just end up niggling away at each other.
Like 2 years ago, 2 years. We've got to move on.
I know you think I nag you all the time, but I do it for Mom.
What?
Dad, she'd be devastated to see you like this. The way you've let yourself go.
I can see you're upset. Seems you're always upset at the moment. But please, don't ever try and tell me what your mum would think. Your mother and I were married for 40 years. We stuck together through thick and thin. I didn't gallivant off to America with barely a card or a phone call year in and year out. Do you know what really devastated your mother? Seeing you ignore all her good advice and run off with that pig of a husband of yours. Her only child. Worried sick she was. Usual, please, Dave. You better hang on to that.
And we wait here until we're called.
I can't believe this is happening to me.
This is just a formality. We go in, we show our faces, the magistrates refer the case up to the Crown Court, end of story. There really is nothing to worry about.
Oh, that's easy for you to say.
Today is routine. It's practically form filling and box ticking. Nothing can go wrong.
I take it you didn't get the Leatherbridge Echo this morning?
Oh, look, that's just a lot of nonsense. Now, come on, Ben, we've been through all this. The court are highly unlikely to give you a guilty verdict based on the rantings of some tabloid rag. Are they? You're an upstanding citizen, a doctor with a shining reputation and a proven track record for community work. And you were defending yourself against an intruder. Now, if you were in their shoes, who would you believe? And even if they do return a guilty verdict, you're hardly going to get a custodial sentence. You're a pillar of the community.
If it is a guilty verdict, then that's the end of my career. Jail remain jail. And as for this pillar of the community, well, that's a double-edged sword. Even if they find me innocent, the damage has been done. I mean, who's going to want to be seen by the boxing GP?
What did I tell you? Simple, straightforward, nothing to it.
Look, this might be second nature to you, but for me, this is...
Okay. I'm sorry, Ben.
This is a nightmare. You know, I thought I was a doctor, but everyone keeps on looking at me like I've got criminal stamped on my forehead.
I'll tell you how you handle this. You carry on. That's like you said, you're a doctor, not a career criminal. So you concentrate on being the best doctor you can and show everyone you know who you are.
Have you ever seen the way people are looking at me at work?
Nothing has changed, Ben. You're a good person. Did you break into someone's house? No. Did you randomly assault someone in the street? No. You're just not that kind of man. You okay?
Yeah. I'm fine.
Don't worry, save your breath. I know.
Ben, how'd it go?
Fine.
What? Just been concerned.
Perfect timing. Dad! What's happened?
Thank you.
Do you reckon, Ben will be knocked because of what happened in reception?
I am pretty sure you're quite far down his list of worries right now.
I was just trying to be nice, wasn't I? Everyone's been dead weird round here at the moment. Ben's given up actually speaking to anyone. George is either laughing like a maniac or crying her eyes out. And Helen is buying up everything in the ballroom.
Babe, I'm trying to do this.
It's like someone's told her that shopping's going to make her young again.
Look, everyone's been through a pretty rough time recently, Helen in particular.
Yeah, I know.
So, while I'm sure they appreciate your concerns there, we would appreciate it a lot more if you chose to express it in some other form than idle chit-chat. Okay.
Right.
Is there anything else?
Dad, you have to be more careful. Anything could have happened to you.
For 100th time I slipped. Just mention it, do it all the time.
You might have been hit by a buzz or something.
Not over anyway. I'm not just after drinking. Teetotalers die every day.
Yes, but they don't come home covered in their own puke, do they?
You're loving this, aren't you? Chance to play, Mum.
I'll get some more paper towels. Well, he's had a fall, but he doesn't usually get that sick. And he's really upset.
Well, I could come out now.
Oh, that would be so kind.
No, it's not a problem. Your dad and I go back a long way.
Thank you, Dr. McGuire. And, look, I know this sounds weird, but, if there's any way you could pretend you just dropped by.
I tell you what I'll do. I will swap my meddling doctor's hat for my best mate hat. How would that be?
Great. See you soon.
It actually isn't that bad, Ray. The scalp, bleeds spectacularly, which is why these things often look worse than they really are. You don't need stitches.
So you just thought you'd drop by, did you, Mac?
Yeah. I was passing, I felt thirsty, I remembered your offer of orange juice, so...
You heard him, Annie? Dr. McGuire just dropped by for an orange juice. Well, come on, out with it. The inevitable lecture.
Which lecture would that be?
You know, drinking too much at your age, falling over, being sick. Bad for the stomach, the heart, the liver, the brain. Shortens the lifespan. Upsets the loved ones, etc., etc., etc.
Seems I be preaching to the converted.
Before you ask, this isn't for me, it's for Helen.
Sir, I just wanted to say I'm sorry about earlier. You're right, you know, everyone is behaving a bit weirdly at the moment, me included.
Yeah, well, I did come over all hoity-toity.
I just think I'm a bit affected by everything, you know? But that is no excuse for acting like a total spoon, and I'm sorry if I called you a gossip.
Ben?
He's back, but I haven't spoken to him. Maybe he's keeping a profile.
Oh, okay.
Helen and Ben, I can understand, right? But George, what's that all about? That's not gossip. That is professional concern. Yeah, okay, but what do you think is going on with George?
Are you asking me? Well, sounds like idle chit-chat to me, but it's obvious, isn't it? She's not getting enough. Ronnie isn't taking care of business. Women that age, oh, know what they're like.
No, I don't, actually. I'm not likely to find out anytime soon.
At our age, the body starts to get weaker, right? And binge drinking on a regular basis does nothing but speed up that process. So, day by day, your immune system, your liver, your stomach are taking a real beating. Not to mention the rest of you. At a time when most people are taking extra care to protect themselves, you're making yourself more vulnerable.
But that's just it. Why should I live in a way I don't want just so I can live that little bit longer? It's not like I'm drinking to escape my responsibilities. I'm drinking because I don't have any anymore. Not since Mary passed away.
You mean Annie doesn't count?
It's... Every time I look at Annie and see the state she's in, alone, no kids, no work, nothing, I can see how much she needs a mum. Oh, I'm no good, I've tried. It's... Mary would have known what to do. Well, you know what kids are like with their mums.
This fussing of Annie's, don't you think it might be her way of asking for your help?
Well, of course it is, but what can I do about it?
I don't know. But the Ray Miller I knew was nothing if not a realist.
What's that supposed to mean?
Mary is not coming back.
Do you think I don't know that?
You and Annie are all you've got. You're both hurting. And you're driving each other crazy because you're trying to pretend that nothing has changed. You look after each other.
She's got to live her own life, get her own friends, get a job. I can't do that for her.
Maybe that's how she feels about you?
Nah, she's just nagging, you know, needy.
Oh, right. So she's the one who needs to sort herself out, but you are fine as you are. Of course she needs your help, Ray. You're her dad.
Good old Maggie. I'd forgotten what an awkward old git you can be.
It's always a pleasure, Ray. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much for coming round, Dr. Maguire. I shouldn't have called you out, I know, but I got myself into such a state.
It's not a problem. At least it's not a problem for me. I think one of the reasons your dad is hitting the bottle so much at the moment is because he's worried about you.
I know. I'm in the way, and he thinks I nag him all the time.
I don't think it's that exactly.
He gets so angry all the time. He misses Mum.
Yeah, I know. But I also think he's worried about you not settling in, finding your feet. He just wants you to be happy.
Well, if it's that, why doesn't he say it? He never talks about Mum. He never talks about me. He was a shop steward. His whole job was talking to people, sorting out problems. I mean, if he wanted to sort this out, why doesn't he say something?
I don't know. But if you keep pestering him, it'll just make things worse. Each of you is so worried about the other, you're not listening to each other anymore. Vicious circle. I've just read him the riot act about his drinking. I don't know how much of it sunk in, and I expect he hates me for it, but that doesn't matter. I'm his doctor. I am supposed to nag him. You're his daughter. You worry about you. Let your dad sort himself out.
While you worry about the pair of us.
Yeah, something like that.
Annie, you can stay here as long as you like. I know I've been a bit hard on you recently, but this is your home and always will be. But do I think you should move out? Yes, definitely. You can't spend your life looking after some grumpy old man, particularly one that doesn't need looking after.
But, Dad, it's no trouble.
It's been nothing but trouble. You're my daughter, and I want you to be happy, not mopping sick off my chin. I want you to pop in when you can and tell me what you're doing, not follow me around the house cleaning up after me.
But, Dad, you're drinking.
My drinking is my affair. I've been overdoing it, and I'm going to cut down, but ultimately the choice is mine. Do you think we wanted you to go to Ohio? The first time I laid eyes on that Darryl, I said, he's not good enough for my girl, no way. I wanted to say as much. Tell you not to go, but your mum, bless her, she gave you a right rollicking and said it's not our decision anymore.
I wish you'd said something.
You wouldn't have listened, and he'd have been right not to. We didn't raise you to roll over and do as you're told. She was proud of you, your mum. Sure, she wanted to see more of you. But even then, she was proud that you were doing what you wanted to do, standing on your own 2 feet on the other side of the world.
Not sure she'd be so proud of me now.
Nonsense. You're here, you're not giving up, you're trying to do the right thing. No mum could ask for more. No dad could either. Cracking spread, this, love. Just what the doctor ordered.
I'll miss her, Dad.
So do I, love. So do I.
Well, that's the 5th patient of Ben's today that's asked to be seen by another doctor. That stupid paper.
More like stupid patients.
Yeah, that sounds great. And look, I'll tell you what, why don't we, yeah, that'd be really good.
After last week's brief encounter, Chrissy confronts Owen in tonight's Holby here on BBC1 at 8. Back to this afternoon, and a killing with curious linking to the assassination of President Kennedy. Murder, She Wrote.